Welcome to the Everything Yachting YouTube channel. Our goal is to help yacht buyers, yacht owners, and yacht sellers through interesting, educational, and informative discussions on topics that are anything and everything yachting related. Hello and welcome to the Everything Yachting podcast. I am here with our special guests today, Captain Evan Duffy and Captain Doug Caldwell. Captain Evan owns a service company here in Marco Island, Florida, where we're at today. We got together because we are out about to do a listing shoot on a new Marlowe Explorer. I won't give you details, so just have to stay tuned to see what one that we're talking about. It is the fastest one in North America, so we're pretty excited today to burn some diesel fuel and light the water on fire behind us. Captain Evan takes care of 4 Marlows down here on Marco Island from the mid 50 range on up to a newer MK270. We're going to hear about some of his experiences. Captain Doug here is a training captain, has run lots of boats. I'll let him talk to you about his experience, but he's also one of our newer brokers at Marlowe Marine, and here's an introduction to him. So I'm going to start with you, Evan, if that's okay. Actually, I'm going to start with both of you guys. We just had a great party a couple weekends ago, all right? Tell me about it. How was it? Was it less than you thought it would be, more than you thought it would be? Did you have a good time? And that was called our rendezvous, by the way.
Yeah, it was a good time. Ocean Reef Club put on a good show, and Marlowe, coordinated with them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Surprised with how many Marlows were there, and met a lot of cool people, and a lot of good times. Saw some pretty good dance moves.
Have you been to any other rendezvous before?
No, it was my first one.
First one,
yeah,
okay. Any other corporate parties of similar setting before?
No, I don't think so.
How about you, Doug?
Yeah, it was my first Marlowe rendezvous. I've been to other corporate events like that. This was great. Everybody's excited to be on board and part of the family, really. And it's the atmosphere that we had was really a family atmosphere.
Agreed. What was your favorite part?
Well, I love seeing the interaction just between the family level interaction between the staff and the boat owners, and it was really just a very comfortable, enjoyable setting.
What was your favorite part?
Yeah, definitely. Marlowe's owners, they're just such a tight community, and seeing everybody come together, maybe they've seen each other twice in a year or something like that, coming together and have a really good time. All the brokers seeing their clients again, it was really cool. The costume party was really fun. Even the Marlowe techs started dancing and all that. It was a good time.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that I heard from the clients was how we brought a good chunk of the yard staff there, and we're working on their boats, fixing their boats.
Yeah.
We couldn't get everything done because we only had so many parts and so many labor, but we got a lot accomplished, and we got a lot of smiles and thank yous because of that, for sure.
No, I was totally surprised by that. It was really cool. We, fixed a few things on the ones I took care of, and it's nice seeing like the back of the house staff, at Marlowe. And everyone's a really cool person, and it was really cool.
Let's talk about experience, okay? How many Marlows, what size range have you run? Same question to you. Evan, we'll start with you first.
So I've been running Marlows for about 2 years now. Started with a 66, then a 62, and then a 61, and now I'm running a 70. And they range. The year's earliest one is 2003, the newest one is 2020, and they're great boats. It's awesome that I can jump on all of them. So many different models and different years, and they all have similar characteristics. Each one's a little bit different, and it's cool that each model can be customized to the client, to the environment that it needs to be in. It's great.
So
great
how
company.
did you get those clients? Did they need you for insurance reasons? Did they live here all the time and they wanted someone aboard all the time? Did they live far away? They need someone to look after their boat when they're gone?
Yeah.
What's the average?
Yeah, it's great. It's all different types of clients. Some that are owner-operator and they need a hand, so I come along as a mate all the time, or, I help them with maintenance, scheduling, all this stuff. Some of them I'm full-time captain, so they don't want to drive the boat. I'm there to, make things a lot easier, and I really like that. There's no rule for running these Marlows. You can run it however you want, and if you want to be an owner-operator, I can help facilitate that. If you want a full-time captain, I'll do that. If you want someone to just jump on board and do all the maintenance, I'll do that too.
Okay, all right, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And north, south, east, west, where have you been?
So on Marlows, I've been to the Chesapeake and South Florida area. But on other boats previous to that, I've been all the way to Quebec City, lots of time in Maine, some Bahamas experience as well, and yeah.
All right, and favorite boat you've run and why, before I ask Doug some of these similar questions, and then see where you guys agree or don't agree.
Yeah, well, favorite boats, so my experience on other boats, I had some good times on these big sailboats I used to run, and hold them close to my heart. But I would say now, where I'm at now, the best boat I've run on these Marlows. That 70 Marlow I run is pretty nice. It's fast. It goes slow well too, well accommodated. Yeah, it's nice.
Awesome. And what's the biggest sailboat you've run?
I ran a 60-foot catamaran for a while, and that's the one I actually sailed to Quebec City and back.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
times. Good times.
Doug, same questions to you. Answer as you see fit.
Sure. Yeah, I've run Marlows from 49 to 90 foot. My background is more sports fish boats. I have a love for that, an affinity for that. So going slow has been a transition for me.
Mm-hmm.
But on these boats, it's not necessarily about getting there fast because it's so comfortable. You can cruise at 10 knots and just be super comfortable, and really just kind of have to change how your perspective on boating is that way. And it really creates a more enjoyable experience. And they will go fast when you want to go fast with them. They're so predictable. I've run boats from all over the Gulf Coast to Texas to the Bahamas, Mid-Atlantic. Not up in Quebec City, but haven't been on the Great Lakes, but East Coast from New York City down through and all over the Gulf Coast, and not all Marlows, but these are just a joy to run because they're so predictable and they're so comfortable and they're so well built, just solid machines. And I've run a lot of boats, and some of them I wouldn't say that about. And I'm glad to get off of them. And these are not that way. These are just great, solid, fun machines.
So by luck, we have a blowboater, and we have a go fast sport fisherman here who both have fallen in love with the Marlow Explorer. What does the Marlow do better than the sailboat that you enjoy, and what does the Marlow do better than the fishing boat that you enjoy? And I wonder if you're going to land on the same thing. Again, I'll start with Evan.
I am a sailor at heart. I love sailing. It's really great being limited at that speed and turning off the motor and just sailing for 600 miles with just a sail is fantastic. But of course, you're limited to that. So that's the drawback. With a Marlow, you can go 8 knots, burning 5 gallons an hour or whatever, and you're having a good time. And then when a storm comes, you can pep it up and get going, and you can get out of that. So
You can do that in a sailboat, though, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, the storm gets going and you pep it up. You just don't get out of it.
I've had some good times in 6-foot seas.
Some wild rides, right?
Yeah, surfing down some big waves, and that's a lot of fun. But
Right. Maybe not for the missus from time to time, or the dog or the cat, just depending upon what you've got aboard, right?
That's right. No, there's something for everyone, and cruising on a sailboat is fantastic. Cruising on a Marlow is also fantastic.
Okay. So it sounds like you like the ability to get out of trouble if trouble's coming your way.
Yeah, I think Marlows just do a full range of performance capabilities really well, and jumping out of the way is nice. Some days you need to do 150 miles a day, and it's nice to be able to do that. It's still a long day, but it's nice to be able to do that.
Yep. All right. So we've heard from the blowbutter. What about the what do we call ourselves?
Powerboater. All right. No, the difference is, the sport fisher boats are great. They're fast. They're comfortable for a short time. But if I want to go out with friends and guests for more than just a couple of overnights, you can't beat this layout. It's just far more comfortable, and I can still fish off the back. The second thing I would say is I don't enjoy boat yoga as much as I used to. So the engine room space and the serviceability of these boats, you can get to all the components, and just for simple checks or for cleaning AC units or whatever you need to do, you can get to the stuff. It's well marked, it's well labeled, and it's well lit. And I'm not laying across the top of hot engines and getting burns and bruises that show up the next day, and I don't know where it came from. So, I mean, it's just usable. It's comfortable. It's usable.
Okay, so now we're getting into service and support, it sounds like. We like to outrun storms. We like to be comfortable. We can fish off the back of a comfortable yacht. But as somebody who's owned a service company for a long time, and another person who owns a service company, and you've been in business at some point in time where you had to service something, I'm going to ask, I'll just put on the table, service and support at Marlowe. How's your experience been in the past 2 years?
It's been really great. I think the front of the house, you guys, it's such a client-centric company, and it's the way you guys handle these people coming in, and the whole build process or buying used boat process has been really great. I've had a lot of clients, upgrade from lesser models.
Inside the Marlowe brand or outside the Marlowe brand?
Outside the Marlowe.
Okay,
Marlowe.
so
A mix.
So I know a couple of your customers. I
Yeah.
built one of them a new boat.
Yep.
I helped one of them buy a Marlowe. He wasn't happy with the boat that he bought during COVID.
Yep.
We won't name names here, but short story, he came out of airplanes and he wanted a hobby. He got into boating, and he felt that he got into the wrong boat. And a lot of people might have done that in COVID. So if you're out there boating in a boat and you're not generally happy, maybe there's a better boat for you. What I'd like to do is have an opportunity to chat with you, so with Doug, any of the brokers at Marlowe, 1-800-362-2657. Tell us what you're in, what you're not happy about. Tell us, where you'd like to go, and maybe we could find something that might do your mission a little bit better than what you're currently in. So service and support, you've got 4 boats down here. Have they gone only to Marlowe? Do you fix everything here? Do they go to other yards? Just kind of lay it out.
Yeah, we've done, I'll do all the minor stuff here and some of the routine stuff. Obviously, the big stuff we'll take it to Marlowe. And the guys, all the techs and the back of the house guys up there are fantastic. They're just as great as you guys. Everyone's super friendly, go out of their way to help facilitate some of this work. And they're really experienced. I forgot the name of your crane operator, but man, that guy's
Mark.
Yeah, wicked smart. Yeah, so I just love going up there and talking to all those guys, and yeah, it's been a great experience, the whole thing.
Yeah, we're surrounded by Marlowe's every day, so we enjoy learning something new every day, and that compounds.
Yeah.
Right? If you're successful enough to buy one of these Marlowe's, you probably learned a lot along the way too.
Yeah.
We do the same thing, specifically with our industry. I try to be like, I call it a heart surgeon of Marlowe's, right? It's what I want to focus on because I think that they're awesome boats. There's a lot of pros that we just uncovered here over maybe sailing or maybe over other types of powerboating like a sport fish that found a home here at Marlowe Marine. How about you on the service and support side, Doug? What have you seen?
So far, my experience has been really good. I'm not a Marlowe owner, so my perspective is a little bit different. But I see daily the lengths to which our service department goes out of their way to make sure that our customers are getting the service they need, and that the overall experience is really positive.
I think we need to say yet at the end of that, I'm not a Marlowe owner, because
Yes.
I think Brian and I were trying to sell him on the way down here today.
Well, yeah, we'll see. So we'll talk to my wife later. So
You're mentioning the 90s.
yeah, she's a nice boat. It really, I'll go back to what I said earlier. It's a when you own a Marlowe, you become part of a family, and family takes care of itself, right? And that's how this company and this product operates. And it's refreshing to see that. It's not, see ya, they got the check off like some other manufacturers do. They take pride in what they do and they live it.
Sunday night, I was texting a captain, I think it was 11 o'clock at night. He had an air conditioning issue, just trying to help him out. Gave him Steven's number at the yard. Once it got to a point where I was like, I can't really troubleshoot anymore. And we figured it out within 24 hours, and actually we were able to get him cool that night. But we made a complete resolution within 24 hours, is my understanding. Where do your clients take these things?
So I have one guy in, he lives on the Panhandle, so we'll be taking that boat up to the Panhandle.
So Marco Island's a winter hub, summer hub?
Yeah, I guess a double, a second winter hub.
Okay.
Yeah, so he goes between Destin and Marco. And then I have another one that goes to Baltimore area in the summer for hurricane reasons and insurance reasons. I just have some clients that go down the Keys, have some plans to go over the Bahamas. There's no limit. Yeah,
I've seen them from, they use the boat 2 weeks a year to they live on the boat 11 months out of the year. I've seen them go all the way up to icebergs in the north, down as far south, as far as you can go. We've had them in Fiji, we've had them in Europe, we've got them going around the world. So approaching 400 boats out there today, you can just imagine where they've gone and where they've been. Yeah. So that's definitely an exciting part about the job is I'm in Marco Island today for a listing. I wasn't planning on being here 3 weeks ago, but here I am today. Marlowe owners and your experience with them. I don't want to be too specific, but I'll just say I have a yard that we're increasing to do more work with, and I can tell you the yard is super excited because of their interaction with our clients so far. I think the quote I can say is, I wish all boaters were like this. And maybe that's just a pride, maybe that's a passion. I don't know what words you want to say, but that Marlowe family that I just hung out with at the Rendezvous, is a family for life. I mean, I just feel like we have a bond, and they could sell their boat and I could still call them, or they could still call me and we'd still be there for each other. So during ownership or after ownership, it's still a family, and I really feel that way. What's your experience been?
Yeah, it is really cool, and like you said, it's hard to pinpoint why it is, but yeah, the camaraderie that comes out of owners and the company, it's really cool. They're very similar people, very similar values, and I don't know, something about the boat that shared interest really brings close friends together, and it's really cool. I should knock on wood, I haven't met a bad person in the community yet. Yeah, no, it's really cool. Yeah,
we strive for 100% satisfaction, but if any of you have owned a business, that's nearly impossible to get to, So 99.999 is pretty darn good,
Yeah, there's a reason why we do this.
How about you, Doug? Anything about the community of the family that you felt?
Yeah, I would mirror what you guys said. I don't know how else to add to that, but they love being here. This is kind of the pinnacle of this style of yacht, and people are very proud to be part of this family and be able to enjoy this type of boating life and this lifestyle. And it shows. They're excited about it. They want to share. When we were at the Rendezvous, I had several folks who I hadn't met before who were owners. You got to see my boat. You got to see my boat. Look what we did here, and some really unique custom touches to the boats that they were very proud of. And
you can do that in any boat, though, right?
Not necessarily. Yeah. Sometimes if you want to buy some of those other boats, you get what you get. We really try to meet our owners' needs and customize it to meet their needs. And you're going to spend time on board, enjoy it, right? Make it comfortable for you. So.
I had a group from Australia that they were the farthest traveled for the event. Unfortunately, they had a hiccup on the way there and had to leave the boat at a service facility and then flew in. And she was on her cell phone showing me customization she did to that boat. And that boat was 17 years old. So this isn't new news, right? This is how she was still proud of what they did to their boat 17 years ago when they built it with us new, that they're still showing how theirs is different today. Exact same type of a thing. And they wouldn't have missed it. Most people have a bad day on the water, end of trip type of a scenario. They're not going to pack everybody up, get hotel rooms, and come to this Rendezvous event. They're just going to go home and they're frustrated. Yeah. But that's not how that vibe was. They wanted to be with the Marlowe family. They hadn't been able to go in a few years, and they were super bummed about the boat incident, but super excited to be with everybody.
Yeah, I talked to them. They're really cool people, and I said the exact same thing to them. I was so surprised that they continued the journey by car and got a hotel room and hung out.
I think they had a great rendezvous. I think it was one of our best ones ever.
Yeah.
I really do. So let's talk about that, because part of that part of that incident, it wasn't an incident, just something broke on a boat that you didn't fall
Can't
out of the
avoid it.
sky like
Can't
an
avoid it.
airplane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you're broken, you're trying to figure it out, trying to get to the next thing. So let's just talk about protected running gear. Did you have protected running gear in your sport fish?
No, absolutely not.
And lay it out there. How did that go?
Yeah, so it went very carefully. That's how it went. So you're always watching your depths. You're staring at your charts. You're doing all your research. If it's an area you've not been in, you're watching the tides, particularly close. Even a soft grounding, you can mess up your running gear. What's beautiful about the Marlowe is the twin keels, the fully enclosed running gear, and the keels are the low point on the hull, and they're structural. So if you bump, if you run a boat, you're going to bump bottom someday, right? So you're protecting that running gear, you're protecting those rudders. A lot more forgiving on these boats than any other boats I've been on. If you're running outboard boats, they kick up, but you're still messing things up. These boats have that big structural running gear down there that protects it. When you're running in the Bahamas, of course, there's no channel markers for the most part. The local captains just say, "Yeah, man, just look over the side, and if it looks too shallow, don't go there." So there's a little peace of mind if you're in these boats.
They usually have a wicked name too, Devil's Backbone.
Yeah. So and it increases performance when you read the research on it as well. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, here in Marco Island, there's a lot of erosion coming from the river coming out, and the current rips at 6 knots, and so the bottom's constantly changing. And there's a couple shallow spots. Thankfully, I've never hit them, but it's nice knowing that there is that protection there.
Yeah, and I'll go one further. In addition to that, Marlowe uses a sea chest system for all their water intakes. So when you need to get to something incorporated in the bottom design on the boat, I think that's a big deal because a lot of other manufacturers don't do that, and you can be chasing things all over the boat, trying to figure out where to shut a valve off or to check and see if you got sand stuck in something, and it's just easy to do on there.
Oh, yeah. It's right there. Right there.
It's all right there.
Yeah.
From serviceability side, from things that you've seen, I'm sure none of our Marlows are broken. Kidding, right? At some point in time, you had to fix something. As a service provider, how's that gone?
Yeah, I mean, there's always routine maintenance, and things break, sensors go bad, and all that. That happens on everything. And working on these boats, the layout is great. Water pumps are in the front, easy to get to. Compressors for the AC are in the engine room. Usually they're pretty handy, pretty accessible. Those are the ones that you really want to make sure they're working good. I really like them. Obviously, the big 70. It's really easy to get everything. That engine room, you can sleep in it. It has a separate generator room. Love that. The smaller one, the 61. Everything's right there. Actually, that's my favorite AC compressor. Is like right there as you walk into the engine room. So you're always checking that. So they're really easy to service. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
Well, I'll tag in on
While
that.
we're on-
Air-conditioned engine rooms. It's just, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? But so many manufacturers don't. And when you let it cool down to go in there to work on it, or just doing systems checks while you're running, it's so nice to have that, and reduces that rust and corrosion that a lot of other boats are plagued with.
Yeah. South Florida is terrible.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Just it's smart design.
Let's chat about the podcast for a second. You're on it today. Have you watched any of our podcast videos?
I've watched them all.
You have. Okay. What do you like? What don't you like? What can we do better? What would you like to see in the next one?
Oh man, no, you decide that. You brought some cool people out, me included. No, no, the last kid you had on, I can't remember his name. He was really cool. He said his favorite.
Captain Bryce.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, cool kid.
Captain Bryce is smiling right now watching this.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, shout out to Captain Bryce.
I think they started the Great Loop again. I joked that they started going north with the boat, and I was just like, go twice, why not?
Just finished. Let's do it again.
I don't think that's what they're actually doing, but it's a fun joke anyway.
Yeah. He said his favorite stop was Halifax, and I had great times over there. Actually, that's where I got my anchor tattoo. It's a.
I like it. It looks good. Make sure everybody sees it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Got that at the brass anchor in Halifax.
Okay.
It's a cool stop, and yeah, it was cool seeing like some guy I'd never met before. Obviously, he's a captain, so we have similar experiences. But going into this far distance place for us in South Florida was really cool to see someone else say that, and so all those stories are great.
Did you get a chance to meet Bryce in the rendezvous?
Oh no, was he there?
He
No,
was there.
really? No, I didn't. I didn't get to
All
meet
right,
him.
well, next year,
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
have to make an introduction.
Definitely, yeah. And that's what it's all about. I mean, your insurance guy, I forgot his name. I'm terrible with names. He's a sailor as well. Probably have similar upbringings of racing sailboats, and that's what it's all about. It's an awesome community. We all have similar upbringings, similar values, and yeah, it's cool seeing those similarities come out and become friends. Yeah, it's great.
Doug, you want to add to that?
No, I don't. I think you covered it pretty well. So you come up with some pretty creative content. Thank you for doing it.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
So here's why we had Evan on, just to oversimplify the question that we're trying to answer. I get this question a lot. Eric, I trust you. I like you. I like Marlowe. I've been to the yard. I've been to the boat. But where I'm at in Timbuktu, I don't know anybody knows how to take care of these things. So my standard line is, there's other people like me at nice marinas all around the world, okay? I'm oversimplifying. I guess there's some places where there couldn't
Not
be.
a whole lot of people like you.
But at the end of the day, there's options out there. Options to hire somebody to fix your yacht, okay? Here's somebody, okay? He's got experience on our boats. He's in the Marco Island area. If you have a Marlowe and you want to get in touch with Evan, give us a call, 1-800-362-2657. My name's Captain Eric Gervais. I'd be happy to put you in touch. If you have any detailed questions about Marlowe's, same phone number, same name. I'm here to help. Let us know. Thanks for watching the Everything Yachting podcast today. And if there's something you'd like us to create, shoot me an email, give us a voicemail, however, we'd like to make it happen. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great one. Thanks for joining us at Everything Yachting. I hope you've enjoyed diving into the yachting world today. If you've enjoyed or learned something, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more. Until next time, my friends, healthy families, happy memories, and may fair winds and smooth seas guide your future yachting adventures.